my name is Sadie, and I had the SADI-S weight loss surgery 3 weeks ago, and today I want to talk about my experience so far. So, right after surgery, when I got home from San Diego in Mexico, I was on a clear liquids diet, and to me, that was the hardest part because I was on a clear liquids diet for a whole week. So, I had broth, popsicles, sugar-free jello, things like that. And it was really hard that first week. I was getting so sick of it. I was getting sick of broth. I wanted something like salty and savory, but all I could have was like the store-bought kind. So I ended up buying the ingredients to make my own chicken broth, which I highly recommend for those who are in this phase because it's really not that hard to make and it's a lot better than the store-bought. Then the next phase was thick liquids. I could have everything I had in the previous phase 1 clear liquids, but now I could add like protein shakes and things like that. And up until this point, I was losing weight every day. And then when I started soft foods, which is like cottage cheese, yogurt, things like that, just really soft foods, I hit my 3-week stall. They call it the 3-week stall, even though mine came a little bit sooner. I had a whole week where I wasn't losing any weight, and that was frustrating. I knew about the 3-week stall, so I wasn't freaking out a whole lot, but I could see how if somebody didn't know about it, it would be really frustrating. And I went on a trip to Arizona for the 4th of July, and everybody was eating all kinds of yummy food, and I had to kind of modify the foods I was eating. I could only have the soft foods. I brought some of my own food like soups and pudding and things like that, which helped a lot. But it was really hard to not eat all the yummy foods that my family was making. But when I got home, I weighed myself and I was down 32 pounds from my highest weight. I lost some of that weight before the surgery, like pre-op, but I don't remember how much I lost after the surgery. I'm just counting my highest weight, which was about 2 weeks before the pre-op diet. So 32 pounds, and today it's only a couple days later, I'm down 34 pounds, which is really exciting. I don't think anybody else really can notice, but I notice. I feel better in my clothes. I can see a difference in my face and my stomach. Yeah, it's been great. So far, I haven't had any complications except I did get really dehydrated at one point, and so I ended up getting fluids, like IV fluids, because I didn't want to get too dehydrated, and I felt a lot better after I got that. When I told the doctor, like when I was getting my IV fluids, when I told the doctor I had weight loss surgery in Mexico, I was a little surprised at his response. He seemed really worried and like frustrated almost that I did that. It was just an urgent care doctor, so I didn't have like a rapport with him. But it kind of scared me, but honestly, I don't regret the surgery and I don't regret doing it in Mexico. I have not had any complications other than the dehydration, and it is really hard to get my protein and my fluids in, but today I can start eating solid foods, and I'm gonna have to titrate up and like work up to like really solid foods like raw vegetables and stuff like that. But I'm really looking forward to eating the way I'm gonna eat for the next, long term, and be able to eat small portions of things. Vitamins have been a struggle for me. The vitamins that I bought are really nasty tasting, but I know I need to take them. I'm hoping to find vitamins that are not so nasty, like a multivitamin and the calcium citrate, I think is pronounced. So if anybody has any recommendations, let me know, because I'm on the hunt for new vitamins, bariatric specific vitamins that are chewable. Anyway, so far, so good. I don't regret the surgery. My incisions are healing nicely. They're still a little bit scabbed over even 3 weeks later, but I think that's normal. I'm really happy with my decision so far, especially seeing the weight loss. It is a little bit depressing to realize that I'll never have that like full feeling, and this is just my experience, but I know everybody says you get so full quickly, but for me, before surgery, when I felt full, it felt like a water balloon in my belly, and it was kind of satisfying. But now when I'm full, it's in my chest and in my back, and it like starts hurting. Not like super bad, but like it starts hurting a little bit. And so it's kind of depressing to realize I'm never gonna feel that full feeling. At least that's what I think. Maybe someday I will. And like how the sensation will change. But right now, that's kind of where I'm at. If I were to give advice about the first couple weeks after surgery, I would say follow it exactly, because deviating will just make you sick and could cause, long-term problems. So I would say follow the diet, it'll pass, and eventually you'll be able to eat solid foods and you'll feel better after that. Anyway, that's kind of been my experience. If you want to see more content about my journey with my weight loss after weight loss surgery, just go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate any likes, comments, anything helps. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one.